we're back on the record. Let's call the next case.
The next case is item number 1. Officer Shanna Sanders, case number CEEXP 2015-00330.
I know.
Alan Levine.
Shanna Sanders, City of North Miami Code Compliance Officer. This is a case for exterior walls that need to be pressure cleaned. I am noting that this case was originally opened on September 17th. Sent a couple of violations on October 27th. Again on November 16th. As of today, the violation still exists. I have not had any contact with anybody from the property regarding this violation. I am showing proper service has been given. The notice to appear was posted at the property on the 20th. Wait, I'm showing the 25th. Let me see. I gotta have something recent. Oh no, I'm showing the most recent one because they tabled it from last month since I wasn't here. It was posted on December 18th at 12:20, and it was certified mailing on the same day. I do have pictures of the violation if you would like to see.
Yes, please. All right. Based on the unrebutted testimony of the code enforcement officer and the evidence presented, I find that the violation does exist. I also find good notice, and given proper notice, the owner has failed to appear. I find in favor of the city and adjudicated guilty. And I will impose a daily fine amount of $200 with an abatement date of February 2nd, 2016.
The next case is item number 119. Officer Edmund Fitzel, case number CEDSP 2015-00026. Landon Valero. For the record, this customer has another case. Item number 120, case number CENUS 2015-00058.
Officer Patel, City of North Miami Code Enforcement Officer. This property was posted with notice to appear on December 18th. Property was posted with notice to appear and affidavit of service was filed. Green card was returned signed. As of today, both violations still exist and there's been no compliance.
Can I see the photos? And it was declared a nuisance?
2 months ago, you adjudicated.
Okay. All right, based on the unrebutted testimony of the code enforcement officer and the evidence presented, I find that the violation still exists. I also find good notice, given proper notice, the owners have failed to appear. The daily fine amount of $100. Okay, two separate cases, they're both fines were set at $100, so the, fine amount of $100 is hereby ratified under case number CEDSP 20150026, and the daily fine amount of $100 is hereby ratified under case number CENUS 20150058.
The next case is item number 30, Officer Wayne Clark, case number CESOD 20150003, property address 1385 Northwest 127th Street. Current property owner.
Wayne Clark, City of North Miami Code Compliance. This case is in reference to sod on the front property needed. To date, there is no change. I have the photos. These photos, mind you, has the error in the date, but today is my testimony. It's in the same condition, like the photo record. But I think it's a new. I think the owner evicted the tenants because we were having problems with them constantly parking on the front and tearing up the property.
Okay. I'm sorry, what is it about notice for today's hearing?
Saw it. Oh, the notice. Oh, I'm sorry. They were notified with the posting at the property on December 18, 2015, 2:15 p.m. And the owner is aware of it. I have talked to him in the past, like a month ago or so,
Okay.
right after the eviction.
All right, and based on the unrebutted testimony of the code enforcement officer, I find that the violation does exist. I find good notice, and given proper notice, the owner has failed to appear. I find in favor of this city. I will and that's the front grass, right?
Yes, that's the front of the property.
Okay. All right, I'll impose a daily fine amount of $150 with an abatement date of February 2nd, 2016.
The next case is item number 31, Officer Vivian Christie, Daniel Damocles, case number CEFAW 2015000119. And for the record, this particular customer has item number 33, case number CEPOM 20150032.
I'm sorry, the first one is 19, correct? Okay. Vidal and Christie, Code Compliance, City of North Miami. This case has already been heard.
We're in item 31.
Okay, I'm seeing a lot of paper. Actually, I think it has been tabled a couple of times. This is the first time it's been heard for a damaged fence at the property. The property was posted with notice to appear on the 18th. Certified mail was sent, green card not returned, and I do have pictures of the property.
Okay. Yeah, it's the first time I'm seeing this, the first time up. Okay. All right, based on the unrebutted testimony of the code enforcement officer and the evidence presented, I find that the violation does exist. I find good notice, and given proper notice, the owner has failed to appear. I find in favor of the city. I hereby impose a daily fine amount of $150 with an abatement date of February 2nd, 2016.
The next case is item number 33, case number CEPOM 2015-00032. It's the same property owner.
Vidal and Christie, Code Compliance, City of North Miami. This is also a case at the same property, 50 Northeast 134th Street, in regards to a dirty pool. The property was posted with notice, certified mail sent out, and I have not been able to get back, or we have not been able to get back on the property to actually see if the pool has been cleaned, but I have had no contact with the property owner, and no one is here today to verify that it is clean. I do have the old pictures.
Okay. All right. Based on the unrebutted testimony of the code enforcement officer and the evidence presented, I find that the violation does exist. I find good notice, and given proper notice, the owners have failed to appear. I find in favor of the city. I will hereby impose a daily fine amount of $250 with an abatement date of February 2nd, 2016.
The next case is item number 96, Officer Ernst Baptiste, case number CEPKS 2015-00018.
What's the item number?
96. Property address 765 Northeast 126th Street.
Ernst Baptiste, City of Miami, Code Enforcement Officer. This is a case that was opened back in October, the 13th, for a the resurfacing of a parking lot, and marking all the space, each parking space, and property was posted on December 18, 2015 at 1:40. And today I inspected the parking lot and took pictures, still the same way.
Okay. It's just a little faded. Yeah. My question to the officer is
It was
that
fading.
it's just a little, it's fading a
Yes,
bit.
and then the parking space is not also fading, and the top part of it need to be a fresh coat of to resurface it.
Okay. All right. This is a residential, or is this a,
This
this is
is
a commercial?
a commercial.
Okay. All right. All right. Based on the unrebutted testimony of the code enforcement officer, I find that the violation does exist. I also find good notice, given proper notice, the owners have failed to appear. I will, it's not as egregious. So I'll impose a daily fine amount of $50 with an abatement date of February 2nd, 2016.
The next case is item number 7, Officer Shanna Sanders, case number CEPFY 201500230, Andres Rebus.
Shanna Sanders, City of North Miami Code Compliance Officer. This is a case for report of previous compliance. This is a case for a vehicle that was parked on the front lawn. As of today, the vehicle still remains. I haven't had any further contact with the property owners since the last hearing, whereas you gave them an extension. He said he was going to install a driveway or something of that nature. But again, as of today, the violation still remains. I have pictures if you would like to see. And while you're looking at the pictures, I'll also note proper service was given. I am showing that I posted the property on December 18th at 11:10 a.m. Also, certified mailing was mailed out by the magistrate clerk on the same day.
All right. They have enough space to build a driveway.
Yes, that's what I explained to him, or at least park along the front swell area until he is able to do a driveway. Because he did speak of financial restraints, but he has quite a large swell area that they can park up there on.
In the meantime,
Mm-hmm.
okay. All right, based upon the unrebutted testimony of the code enforcement officer and the evidence presented, I find that the violation still exists. I find good notice and given proper notice, the owners have failed to appear. I find in favor of the city. I will impose a daily fine amount of $100 with an abatement date of February 2nd, 2016.
The next case is item number 11, Officer Vitalin Christie, case number CEBPR 201500092, Annie Valcourt.
Vidal and Christie, Code Compliance, City of North Miami. This is a building no permits case, 55 Northeast 128. I cited the property back in September. I have not been able to make contact with the property owner. This was brought to my attention by a few neighbors, and I do have pictures for the record. Also, after reviewing the permit records, there is no permits on file. Sorry. Property was posted with notice to appear. Also, certified mail was sent out, green card not returned.
Otherwise well kept. I say otherwise well kept.
They're well kept. They're just blocking some neighbors from doing some things that they would like to do, so they complain.
All right. Based on the unrebutted testimony of the code enforcement officer, I find a violation does exist. I find good notice, given proper notice, the owner has failed to appear. I hereby find in favor of the city, impose a daily fine amount of $100 with an abatement date of February 2nd, 2016.
The next case is item number 162, Officer Edmund Fitzel, case number CEDSP 201500017, Rachel Reeves, For the record, this customer has item number 163, case number CENUS 20150037.
Edmund Fitzell, City of North Miami Code Enforcement Officer. This nuisance property was declared a nuisance back in the October hearing, as well as the depreciation that surround the property. The property was posted with notice to appear on December 21st and mailed notice to appear on December 18th. That's today, there's no compliance.
Okay. Based on the unrebutted testimony of the code enforcement officer and the evidence presented, I find that the violations still exist. Do you have any recent photographs?
I took some yesterday just in case you want to see some more photos.
Yes,
Here you
please. Okay. All right, again, based on the unrebutted testimony of the enforcement officer and the evidence presented, I find that the violations still exist. I also find good notice, given proper notice, the owner has failed to appear. I find that the violations still exist. As to case number CEDSP 2015000017, the fine amount of $100 is hereby ratified. And as to case number CENUS 2015000037, the fine amount of, that one didn't have a fine amount. I did not? Okay.
It says $100.
I see, that's cost, no fine set.
Okay.
I don't know why. All right, I'll set the fine at same $100. Huh? I can't ratify it if it wasn't set.
It says fine set here at $100 for DSP.
No, I have fine set under
Oh, for the nuisance.
0017. I didn't have a
Okay.
fine set for 00037. February 2nd, yeah. Okay.
The next case is item number 143. Officer, on behalf of Monica Fredericks, Shanna Sanders, Melvin Scholl, case number CENUS 2015000081.
Shannon Sanders, City of North Miami Code Compliance Officer, again here in this case for Code Officer Monica Fredericks in her absence. This is a nuisance case that was originally cited on November 16th. She sent the notice out on October 10th as well, as filed it for the special magistrate. As of today, when we rode by the property, the violations still exist. I am showing, let me see if she gave, I'm showing that the proper service was giving. She posted the property on December, I guess that looks like the 20th, at 11:40 a.m. I have pictures of the property if you would like to see. Again, I want to stress I'm hearing this for Code Officer Fredericks, and as you're looking at the picture, I'll explain what we saw when we drove by there today.
Good night, Officer Fitzell.
As you're looking at the property, as you'll see, it's an abandoned property. From what was explained to me, the city came out and boarded this up a couple of weeks ago. I'm understanding that the kids, it's up the street from the middle school as well as the high school. The kids are hanging around there.
Isn't the front roof for the
Yes,
area here seems like
a
it's
part of
about
the
to collapse.
it is. It's the part that's about to collapse. The fascia boards are pretty much very rotten. A lot of trees and shrubbery that's around the sides and the rear of the property. You know, it's becoming a big eyesore to the city. I guess that's why, you know, she opened it as a nuisance. And wants it to be, you know, I guess.
Declared a nuisance.
Yes.
Okay. Based on the unrebutted testimony of the code enforcement officer and the evidence presented, I hereby declare this property a nuisance. Do I set a fine amount and an abatement date? Okay. I will set the fine amount at $350 with an abatement date of February 2nd, 2016.
Thank you.
The next case is item number 145, Officer Villalin Christie, case number CEBPR 2015-00093, Memnon Joel.
Beadle and Christie, Code Compliance, City of North Miami. This is a new case in regards to the construction of a rear addition to the property. I met with the property owner, at which time I actually served him in the office, informed him of the violation, and as of today, he has no permits on record, and the structure remains the same. I do have pictures for the record.
Has this been heard before?
No, the file, it's been tabled.
No, I'm saying, is there any other violation? Because this property looks familiar, I'm wondering if we, okay, got it. All right. Based on the unrebutted testimony of the code enforcement officer and the evidence presented, I find that the violation does exist. I also find good notice, given proper notice, the owners have failed to appear. I find in favor of the city. And I will hereby impose a daily fine amount of $200 with an abatement date of February 2nd, 2016.
The next case is item number 146, Officer Ernst Baptiste, case number CEDSP 2015-00001, Mimos Anatois.
Ernst Baptiste, City of Miami, Code Enforcement Officer. This is a new case for a depreciation of surrounding property, and case was open. Case was open on January 14, 2015. The hearing date was on the 12/4/2015, mailed certified letter and NTA notice to appear on the 18th of December 18, 2015. Property was posted on December 18, 2015, and this property was already declared a nuisance, and now we are bringing in a depreciation case in our picture.
Okay. Mhm. Based on the unrebutted testimony of the code enforcement officer and the evidence presented, I find that the violation still exists. And are we getting a new adjudication for this matter, the depreciation
Yes.
file? Okay. I find in favor of this city, I will adjudicate it guilty, and impose a daily fine amount of $350 with an abatement date of February 2nd, 2016.
The next case is item number 44, Officer Wayne Clark, case number CEFAW 2015-000146. Property address 1293 Northwest 119th Street. And for the record, this customer has a companion case, item number 46, case number CENUS 2015-00075.
Wayne Clark City, North Miami Code Compliance. This is in reference to offense in sort of disrepair complaint by way of my immediate supervisor. In reference to the fence poles not correctly installed. I'd like to submit the photo for the record showing that the fences, the poles are not straight, and it's kind of like a bad appearance. And that's all they had to do was like straighten the poles up.
Okay. I apologize. Tell me again about notice.
The property was posted on December 18th, 2015, and posted at City Hall December 18th and mailed out December 18th by the clerk.
All right, and did we combine the two cases?
Then we got another one, yeah.
Okay. Let me see the photograph regarding the plywood. Did you test?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. That's,
Because I was only looking at the fence.
right,
or
Wayne
the
Clark City, North
furniture.
Miami Code Compliance. This case is a nuisance case in reference to a piece of plywood that is erected at the front of the property facing the main thoroughfare. They were just asked to remove the plywood. I guess they're using it as a blockage for the vacant space between the building wall and the end of the fence. But it's still there.
Okay. All right, is it just that one piece of plywood over, okay. I mean, that's something they should be able to remove. All right, based on the unrebutted testimony of the code enforcement officer and the evidence presented, I find the violation does exist. I find in favor of the city. I also find good notice, given proper notice, the owners have failed to appear. Okay, as to case number 00146, again, I find in favor of the city, adjudicate this matter guilty, and I'll impose a daily fine amount of $100 with an abatement date of February 2nd, 2016. And as to 00075, again, I find in favor of the city and enter a finding of guilt and impose a daily fine amount of $25 with an abatement date of February 2nd, 2016.
The next case is item number 49, Officer Vivian Christie, case number CEXP 2015-00309, Elvina Del Pecci. For the record, this customer has item number 50, case number CEIVY 2015-00145.
Okay, 45 first, correct?
49.
Or 09. 09 first? Vito and Christie, Code Compliance, City of North Miami. This is a new case in regards to the exterior painting of the property. Case was cited back in November, and I have not made contact with, I'm sorry, this case was initially cited back in September. I have not been able to make contact with the property owner, and there has been no changes at the property. Property was posted and certified mail sent out. I have not received a green card. However, I do have pictures for the record.
Okay. Based on the unrebutted testimony of the code enforcement officer, I find that the violation does exist. I also find good notice, given proper notice, the owner has failed to appear. I find in favor of the city and adjudicate, enter a finding of guilt, and impose a daily fine amount of $100 with an abatement date of February 2nd, 2016.
And second case, property was again cited back in September in regards to cars, inoperable cars being stored at the property. I have again not made contact with the property owner or anyone at the property. Cars have not been moved, and as of today, the cars remain the same, and I do have pictures for the record.
It's a lot of cars. They have a big driveway.
They do. They have other cars.
Okay. All right, how do we determine that they're inoperable?
Because some of the tires are low, and those cars have been there for a very long time. I am not able to go because they are aware of our rules, so they back the cars in. So the tags face that way. But most of the cars that I've seen facing outwards don't have tags. And those cars have never moved.
Are you saying it's not a situation where they leave and they come back and line up the cars the same way
No.
every time?
I've been at the city for 9 years, and most of those cars have been there. They keep, I don't know, but I've seen those cars. That house has always had a lot of cars. Yes, I know. I didn't have the area, but I've driven there. Sit down. Those cars haven't moved, but some of the tires on those cars are flat.
All right,
No.
okay. I can see the one, well, I guess if the one that's in
And some
front of them.
damage. There's a little bit of
I
damage on
see
some of them.
damage. And I was gonna say I didn't see the flat tire, and that's the reason why I was questioning you further until I looked further. And if the first vehicle has a flat tire, that means the car subsequently to it that's
And they
behind it
pull them
would
so
probably-
close together, even if you go up against the cars, you can't really see the tags because they're like right on top of each other.
Okay, but I can see from this photograph that the car in the front has a flat tire. So that would mean all the ones that's behind it
Pretty much.
would be difficult to move if the ones blocking it has a flat tire. All right, based on the unrebutted testimony of the code enforcement officer and the evidence presented, I find that the violation does exist. And I also find good notice, given proper notice, the owner has failed to appear. I hereby find in favor of this city and enter an adjudication of guilt and impose a daily fine amount of $200 with an abatement date of February 2nd, 2016.
The next case is item number 52, Officer Videlin Christie. Case number CEPFY 2015-00277, Enrique Calitzo.
Vito and Christie, Code Compliance, City of North Miami. This is a new case in regards to parking on the front lawn. Property was posted, green card sent out by the clerk and has not been returned. I have spoken to several of the young men at this property in regards to removing the cars off the lawn. They remove it for one day and bring new ones right back. I would like an adjudication on this. Obviously, they're not here to defend themselves, and I do have a couple days of pictures. Usually there are several more cars there, but
What is this, like a duplex, or is this a,
the house?
Yeah.
No, it's a single-family house.
okay, it's a lot of vehicle?
Yes.
Okay. Based on the unrebutted testimony of the code enforcement officer and the evidence presented, I find that the violation does exist. I also find good notice, and given proper notice, the owners have failed to appear. I find in favor of the city and enter an adjudication, and it impose a daily fine amount of $150 with an abatement date of February 2nd, 2016.
The next case is item number 154. Officer Monica Frederick, on behalf of Monica Frederick, it's Shannon Sanders. Case number CEDSP 2015-00019, Norman Strangeways.
What's the item number?
154.
Shanna Sanders, City of North Miami, co-compliance officer, here in this case for Officer Monica Fredericks. This is a case for a depreciation of surrounding properties that was originally cited July 21st of last year, 2015. I'm assuming somewhere through the loop it got lost in the cracks, because I am showing only one notice was sent out to them June 30th. No activity is being shown until the filing of this case, which was December 4th. We did drive by the property today, and it does appear to be if not for better words, depreciating the surrounding properties. I am showing that service was giving. I don't even show a notice to appear. Let's see. All right, okay, yes, she did post the property on December 20th, 2015 at 11 a.m. I'll send pictures up of the property so that you can see. If I'm receiving the information correctly, this was already declared a nuisance, and now she was asked to also do a companion case for the depreciation of surrounding properties. So right now, the city is asking for the case to be a guilty finding.
Okay. Based on the unrebutted testimony of the code enforcement officer, I find that the violation still exists. I also find good notice, given proper notice, the owners have failed to appear. I hereby find in favor of the city and enter an adjudication of guilt and impose a daily fine amount of $350 with an abatement date of February 2nd, 2016.
The The next case is item number 165, Officer Violin Christie. Case number CEFAW 2015-00140, Robert and wife Karina.
Rita Lynn Christie, Code Compliance, City of North Miami. This is I'm sorry, 1 second. It appears that this case was previously heard. Correct? It was okay. Okay, I guess this case was not heard. It was tabled at the last notice, or the last hearing. The case was started back in September in regard to the fence located at this property. I have not been able to make contact with anyone at this residence. At this point, I'm not even sure if someone lives there because they're not maintaining the property either. Notice was posted at the property, green card sent out, and nothing has been returned. I do have pictures as of today for the record.
All right. Based on the unrebutted testimony of the code enforcement officer and the evidence presented, I find that the violation does exist. I also find good notice, given proper notice, the owners have failed to appear. I hereby find in favor of the city and enter a finding of guilt, and impose a daily fine amount of $150 with an abatement date of February 2nd, 2016.
The next case is item number 167, Officer Ernst Baptiste, case number CEJ&K 2015-00169, Giselle Santana and Kelly Walsh. Property 759 Northeast 126th Street.
Ernst Baptiste, City of Miami, Code Enforcement. Case was tabled by Commander Blanchard. Yes.
Item number 167, case number CEJ&K 2015-00169 was postponed a month. The next case is item number 167, Officer Violin Christie, case number CEXP 2015-00308.
You say 167?
173.
Vito and Christie, Code Compliance, City of North Miami. This is a new case that was cited back in August. I have not been able to speak to the property owner. However, he has made contact with someone in the office that has explained the violation to him. As of today at the property looks pretty much the same, with the exception the property owner happened to clean one of the awnings but did not paint or do anything else with the trim or the other awnings. Property was posted and green card or certified mail sent to the property owner.
Okay. Based on the unrebutted testimony of the code enforcement officer and the evidence presented, I find that the violation does exist. I find good notice, given proper notice, the owner has failed to appear. I find in favor of the city and adjudicate this matter guilty and impose a daily fine amount of $150 with an abatement date of February 2nd, 2016.
The next case is item number 127, Officer Wayne Clark, case number CEOSV 2015-000038, Limpson.
Wayne Clark City, North Miami Code Compliance. The property was posted with proper notice December 18th, 2015. I think the case is already adjudicated. In reference to an oversized vehicle on the property, which is a panel truck at the rear of the property. It's there today. I was unable to take any recent pictures, being that he has some other things blocking and you can only see it with the naked eye. But it's in fact still there. I'd like to recollect your memory and to resubmit the photo for the record. The property was posted December 18, 2015. He has something blocking it now where I can't get a picture of it, a clear shot of it. It's I could see it, but I wouldn't be able to. You wouldn't be able to see it on a picture because it's only like a little gap between it. He has some more. He didn't put it. I guess he didn't put it there on purpose. He just got more vehicles parked in front of it, so to speak. But it is in fact still there, and it hasn't been moved. I haven't had any contact.
Sorry. Based on the unrebutted testimony of the code enforcement officer and the evidence presented, I find that the violations still exist. I also find good notice, given proper notice, the owners have failed to appear. I hereby ratify the daily fine amount of $200.
The next case is item number 184, Officer Ernst Baptiste, case number CEPOD 2015-00012, William Foster. Item number 184.
Ernst Baptiste, City of Miami Code Enforcement Officer. This is a case for a container placed on a residential property without a permit. Case was heard before. Property was posted on December 18, 2015. I went to the property today and the container is still there, and I took picture.
Based on the unrebutted testimony of the code enforcement officer and the evidence presented, I find that the violations still exist. I also find good notice, given proper notice, the owner has failed to appear. The daily fine amount of $150 is hereby ratified.
The next case is item number 60, Officer Vidalin Christie, case number CEXP 2015-00296. For the record, this customer has a companion case. Item number
Good night.
62, case number CEFAW 2015-00131.
Okay. Vidalin Christie, I'm sorry, we are doing EXP first, correct? Vito and Christie Code Compliance, City of North Miami. This is a new case in regards to the exterior, the roof, discoloration of the roof. Property, the case was opened back in August. I have not been able to make contact with anyone at the property. I do see people moving around at the property, but they refuse to come to the gate when I ask them. Property was posted with notice. Green card was returned, and I do have pictures as of today.
Okay. Based on the unrebutted testimony of the code enforcement officer and the evidence presented, I find that the violation does exist. I find good notice, and given proper notice, the owner has failed to appear. I find in favor of the city and adjudicate this matter guilty, and enter a daily fine amount of $200 with an abatement date of February 2nd, 2016.
Second case is regarding to the cement fence at the property. This is, again, a new case that was opened back in August. I, again, have no contact with the property owner or anyone located at the property. Property was posted, also certified mail was sent out, and green card returned. And as of today, I do have pictures of that wall for the record.
Good night, Officer Clark. Happy New Year. All right. Based on the unrebutted testimony of the code enforcement officer and the evidence presented, I find there is a violation. I find good notice. Given proper notice, the owner has failed to appear. I find in favor of this city, adjudicate this matter guilty, and enter a daily fine amount of $200 with an abatement date of February 2nd, 2016.
The next case is item number 65, Officer Vidilyn Christie, case number CEPFY 2015-003559.
Vito and Christie Code Compliance, City of North Miami. This case was opened back in November in regards to parking on the front lawn. Mail was sent to the property in regards to the violation. Property was posted and certified mail sent out. However, I did not get the green card returned. I do have pictures of the evidence.
When were these photographs taken?
Actually, they were taken yesterday, but the same car is actually at the car. That photo was taken yesterday, but driving by today, those cars are in the same position.
All right. Based on the unrebutted testimony of the code enforcement officer and the evidence presented, I find that the violation does exist. I find good notice. Given proper notice, the owner has failed to appear. I hereby find in favor of the city, enter an adjudication of guilt, and impose a daily fine amount of $100 with an abatement date of February 2nd, 2016.
The next case is item number 115, Officer Vidilyn Christie, case number CEFAW 2015-000134.
Vito and Christie, City of North Miami, Code Compliance. This is a new case that was cited back in August in regards to the exterior cement wall at the property. I have not been able to make contact with the property owner. Notice was provided and certified mail sent to the property owner. These photos are from today, and there are absolutely no changes at the property.
Based on the unrebutted testimony of the code enforcement officer and the evidence presented, I find that the violation does exist. I also find good notice, given proper notice, the owners have failed to appear. I hereby find in favor of the city, enter a finding of guilt and impose a daily fine amount of $200 with an abatement date of February 2nd, 2016.
The next case is item number 36, Officer Vidalin Christie,
36.
case number CEPFY 2015-00219. This case was complied.
Oh.
The next case is item number 183, Officer Vidalin Christie, case number CEXP 2015-00298.
33 or 83?
183.
Okay, Vidalin Christie, Code Compliance, City of North Miami. This case was previously heard, and was found guilty. Order to comply was posted at the property. Notice for this hearing was also posted at the property. Certified mail was sent out to the property owner, and I have not made contact with anyone at the property owning the property besides the tenants. And as of today, the property remains the same.
Okay, the awnings. Mhm. All right. Based on the unrebutted testimony of the code enforcement officer and the evidence presented, I find that the violation still exists. I also find good notice, given proper notice, the owner have failed to appear. The daily fine amount of $150 is hereby ratified.
And that completes all the items on the agenda.
All right, we're adjourned.